Well, good morning, YouTubers, and a bit of an update really on this road trip, which kind of started off. Well, it started off. I'm getting photo bombed. You can't beat them, can you? It sort of started off, as you know, with traffic delays, and it's 9:30 now, and we just stopped at Columpton. Going to try and punch our way as far north as possible tonight, but obviously we need some food, and that's not quite so easy to get, and we can't obviously cook anything because we're on the road, so it's looking like it might be the McDonald's this evening. Yeah, so it's quite a long haul tonight, but yeah, if we can clear certainly Birmingham. I'd like to clear Manchester as well before we stop. That would be great. Oh, here comes the McDonald's. Well, good morning. What a night that was. We drove all the way from Coverack to Kendal. And that was a real nightmare because every road that we went on had roadworks, and I'm not joking you, every road. The M5 was closed, so we had to detour off of that. The M6 was closed, such a big section, we had to go off onto the 42 and round by the NEC, and then join the M6 back up, and then from there onwards it was roadwork after roadwork, single lane, single lane, single lane. I might have picked up a speeding ticket. I'm really not happy about that. On the overhead gantries, the speeds kept changing, and we were cruising like 50, and then one went down to 40, so I lowered my speed down. I was doing 43 miles an hour when I went under the gantry, and it's gone and flashed on me. I think it's me. I mean, I find it bizarre, 43 miles an hour, but that's what I was doing. And then we made our way up to just short of T-Bay services, where we know we can park off the road. And we did park off the road because T-Bay services want to charge you £22 a night to park in the car park. I'm not doing that. And we parked up where we parked before, and then at 6 o'clock this morning we were awoken by fencing contractors who decided to meet up where we were parked, and literally had their radios on, were shouting and talking with no care whatsoever for us being in the lay-by, obviously sleeping. Total ignorant arseholes. Well, we've made it to the shores of Loch Lomond. So we've just come through Glasgow, and we've got about another 60-70 miles to run to Oban. I've booked a campsite this evening, so we can have an electric hook up and we can have a bit of a relax and a nice meal hopefully. So yeah, so here we are, banks of Loch Lomond, just near a place called Luss. Nice little campsite just outside of Oban, caravan and camping club site, and I would highly recommend caravan and camping club sites, because after all the years of doing camping, well, motorhoming, not camping, I've used both clubs, the caravan and camping club and the caravan and motorhome club, and all I can say about the caravan and motorhome club is it is a bunch of knobs. Oh, by the way, they also charge electric prices on top of the fees of you pay for the pitch. That's the Caravan and Motorhome Club. You now have to have a separate account for electricity. So screw them. Screw the Caravan and Motorhome Club. And long live the Caravan and Camping Club. Well, I think it's called the Camping and Caravanning Club. But anyway, they're really nice people. So we stayed in Oban, very, very nice. And then we forged forward and went up on the Cornwall ferry. and then we took the second ferry across to, I think it's called Finish, on the Isle of Mull. And we had a couple of days stay on a campsite, which again was very good, on Mull. It wasn't a caravan and camping club or either, it was private individuals, but it was very pleasant. All I would say was the facilities were a little lacking because there was only one toilet and only one shower, and had the site been full, and there was quite a few emplacements, I'm going to say 15 emplacements, probably about that. So you can imagine if that was full, then the toilet and shower would be under a serious amount of pressure and wouldn't be very good. Anyway, our trip on Mull was quite interesting. Well, here we are, Tobermory. Seen, the weather was pretty atrocious, but we kind of knew that the Scottish Islands and the Inner Hebrides, as they are known, would be like that, and so we put up with it, and we saw everything there was to see and drove right around the island on single track roads, which I have to say would in places were quite challenging. How people get from A to B is beyond me, because to travel from one end of the island, Tobermory, to the other end of the island, his name escapes me now, Philippot or something, was 70 miles, and on a single track road with passing places, God, that took hours. It took hours. And we were advised it would take hours. Apparently, if you leave at 5 o'clock in the morning from Tobermory, apparently you can do it in about an hour and a half. The rest of the day can take you up to 3 hours, because you're constantly backing up or pulling in for people. Well, here I am at Fiona Port, I think it's pronounced, with the island of Iona behind me and the small ferry that goes to Iona. There's nothing here. I mean, there's nothing open. We've travelled 17 miles down a single track road, which we've got to go back up now because there's no way There's no other way, and there's just nothing here. So yeah, we've driven on every road that there is on Mull today in atrocious weather. It's now dry, but well, we expected bad weather, and I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, so I own it in the background. I'll take a bit of video of it. Days. We stayed on the island for a couple of days, and then we booked a ferry to get off with the intention of heading north up through Scotland and visiting old haunts like Ullapool, Gairloch and the likes. So we booked the ferry online and we went down to the ferry, and when we got there, there was a sign up saying there is no ferry, and there might not be a ferry all day. We'll update you at 1 o'clock, which was not what I expected after I'd only just that second booked it online. You'd think I would have got notification about that, but Calmac in its wonderful ways decided not to do that. So we had to drive back down the island a little bit more to a place, again I've forgotten the name, Crayley or something like that, where there's a ferry direct to Oban, which we didn't really want to do because we didn't want to go back to Oban, having previously been there and travelled further up through Scotland. We had no choice. We went back there, and we were told to go in the sort of lane that would be allocated to you possibly getting on the ferry if there was a space. You couldn't just drive straight on. And I had to go and change my ticket, which I had to do at the office, where I was informed that not only did I have to pay £10 more, which stuck in my craw a little bit because it wasn't my fault the ferry was cancelled. But they wanted me to pay £10 more, which I had to do. And then they said, oh, this was about 9:30, I think, in the morning, maybe 10 o'clock. And they said, oh, you're on the 4 o'clock ferry. And I'm like, I don't want to be on the 4 o'clock ferry, I want to go now. And that wasn't possible, and we were put in the waiting queue, where, as I said, if the ferries that were coming in and out had a space, you'd get put on. Well, 2 ferries came and went, and we didn't get on either of them, which meant we just sat there and basically ate chocolate biscuits by the packet. At least I did. And then finally a ferry, I think it was one before ours, rocked up, and there was space for 5 more vehicles, so we managed to get on. And then we drove through Oban again and drove on the same road. We'd driven again up to Fort William, which was a pain in the neck. And it rained and it rained and it rained. And it was that stage of the journey when we thought, well, hang on a minute, we need to take note of what they're saying on the weather forecast. And the weather forecast said, you need to go to the east of Scotland because the east of Scotland is going to be nice and dry. And the west of Scotland is going to be awfully wet. So we started heading across, and we were running out of daylight, really. So we stopped at a brilliant campsite. It's called Loch Ness Shores, actually on Loch Ness, of course, at a place called Foyers, which I've been to before on many, many occasions. The road through Foyers is beautiful, and I have done it on the motorbike as well. It's incredible. And we went to this campsite and it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful, as it said, on the shores of Loch Ness. The only downside to, oh, by the way, beautiful shower facilities, again, a camping and caravanning club. The only downside to it was it rained all night. We got up the following morning with the intention of heading to Dingwall and then possibly going a little bit further north. But the overall discussion we had here in the van was that two things. A, I need to rejig some aspects of this van because they're not right. We brought this van out on a shakedown with the intention of seeing whether it was good, bad or indifferent, and there are some issues with it. Not the van's perfect. The issues are with the accommodation I have put into the van, and it needs to be adapted. Not completely ripped out, but adapted. And the other issue we have is that we brought the two dogs with us, and bringing two dogs when it's wet weather in October to share your bed is not a great idea. We should have known that. We've done it before and we've complained about it before. They just want to snuggle in and get under the duvet, and it makes life very difficult. Also, we have no head clearance in this van, so getting up and down in the middle of the night is difficult, and lowering of the beds is going to be one of the tasks I should be undertaking to give us a bit more headroom. So the decision was made that we wouldn't continue our journey north because of the rain, because the rain was continuing to come down, and we headed south down to Northumberland, where we stayed not far from one of the many areas where you can access Hadrian's Wall, and we stayed on a campsite last night it's called Hawk something. I put the name up on here on the screen anyway when I do this, edit this. Again, it was Caravan and Camping Club. I wouldn't go there again. It was all right, facilities were nice, the emplacements were very close together. It was down in the valley. There was very good signal on the phone, which I was pleased about, next to a river, very damp down there. And last night it absolutely lashed it down. You can't really see me because I've got the lights on. It's dark, it's wet, it's quite cold. You can see my breath. It's not what I've got planned really. This is probably van camping at the extreme. You certainly don't want to be out here tonight. It's not nice. Sunday, I don't know, what is it, the 6th or I think it's 6th of October. That's not smoke, that's breath. Yeah, would you believe that? It's breath. That's how crap the weather is. It's bloody awful. Well, camping can be great fun when it's not raining, but when it's raining, it's not a lot of fun at all. What happened?
The water is coming through there.
So we made the decision now to basically turn and go home. The weather forecast for the next few days is not great, and we were going to drive. I was going to drive straight home last night, really, which I've done before. But then I thought that's crazy. So I've had a look on Airbnb, and I found ourselves a cottage just into Wales, not far from Wrexham, where we're going to go and spend a couple of nights just to chill. The dogs can run around and the dogs can sleep downstairs while we have a nice kip, and we're going to stay there 2 nights, and then on Wednesday morning we're back into work mode because we've got to go and pick up some ingredients for the business in Bridgewater before we head back to Cornwall. So that really is the whole trip in a nutshell, and I'm obviously going to put bits of video on this to explain where we stayed, what we did. Positives about the van, the economy, incredible. I mean, we're hardly putting any fuel in it, it's just brilliant. Driving it, beautiful, drives beautiful, just drives like a car. The setup for the camping would have been great if it had been dry. We've got a little slide-on awning, which you'll see pictures of, which cost, I think, 40 quid. It's brilliant. It goes on and off real quick. It's fantastic. But I think we might invest in a roll-out awning to go on the other side of the van, as this is a two-door or door on each side of the van, which might be handy. The kitchen bit worked okay, but unfortunately the kitchen bit is open to the elements at the back, so I need to think about that. I mean, we do have a big awning that an inflatable awning that can sit on the side, but we decided not to bring that because it's canvas and we didn't want to be putting it up in wet weather, of which it's rained. I've been on the road now, what, 6 days, and it's rained 5 out of the 6. So yeah, yeah, I'm happy with the van. Just a few little tweaks to do with this van and it'll be fine. Would I recommend going camping in October? No, probably not. We do it every year, but we're just crazy. It's just, why do we go in October? Well, we go in October because we've all had a break early in the year, generally speaking, and then we work all summer, flat out, producing our jams and preserves, and we're doing the B&B and everything, and it's just full on. And then you get to the 7th of September and you think, well, just do a little break now. So we go on a little break, and 9 times out of 10 it is Scotland. And this time we thought we'd try the Isle of Mull, because we haven't been on the Isle of Mull before. We've done the Outer Hebrides, but never the Inner Hebrides. So that's job done. So a bit more on this video from our little cottage that we're going to. See you there.